So, damn, this is a clip of MacG, right? And it's a long ass clip, man. Where do I start with it, and what's the context with it? Well, he was with Black Coffee recently, and there's a portion where they talked about his relationship with Shimza and him realizing at the star level that he is. Black Coffee is, I think, star level like Logan Paul. So Coffee spoke about the importance of, as friends who are famous and in the same industry, who are experiencing the same, levels of glory and fame and popularity. He says that if you are friends and you're living that high level together, you all need to probably go to therapy together or individually to talk about each other to your therapist, or you're talking together about how you two feel about each other's success, because it gets toxic. Human nature comes out eventually. At these levels of success, you think people become very kind and very nice to one another. Nobody's petty anymore. Everybody has food. Y'all are successful. You've got your Range Rover. I've got my, you know, I've got my G class. You fly private, I fly private. You've been to the States, I've been to the States. What's the fuss? What are we fighting about? But hey, you actually realize that there's pettiness and jealousy. There's a desire, even at those levels, for somebody to see themselves above the other, or to see somebody brought down, either by scandal or whatever. You know, People just seem to want to exist by themselves up there. And that sort of jealous heart, that sort of jealous dynamic can play out between friends. Y'all can be the two top DJs in this country and not have a talking kind of communication channel that is open between the two of y'all. Y'all can be far away from each other, meeting each other on tours at certain dates. That is bad. That is sad. So let's hear a bit more about that.
Speaking about Shimza, what happened between you and Shimi? You guys had a fight?
Oh, man, a lot. A lot. And at the same time, I think we are in such a good space now.
Oh, perfect, man.
I was talking to him last week. I just feel like as people, as we grow, sometimes we don't realize, and I'm not talking about Shimza specifically, when our friendship expire.
Oh.
A friendship expires. Let's keep listening.
We can meet. We can meet at a time where you want to be me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you become me.
Yes.
And when you are me, then go be better than me.
When you are. That's what I wish.
I become a good moon.
The most violence. You're right, because that's the way I felt. I felt like he was a mini you.
No, I'm just saying, like with people, you need to understand when the friendship has served its purpose, and maybe in a certain way where you needed certain things and you got those things, and now let me run. And that's it. So sometimes we stick around, and then it becomes a little bit toxic.
Did you read?
So you see, that's what happens when people hide a transactional relationship behind a friendship. Let's say one person just wants something out of the other. They just want to know what you know. They want to get in touch with your contacts. That's what they desire out of you, right? But they're not going to come out and say, yo, man, I'd like to speak business with you. You've got a number of contacts. I've got services that I can supply you. I can supply them to you at a very reasonable price so that you and I form a relationship. And from this relationship, if you may please invite me to an event where you've got your contacts and we can be people who hang out, and I can increasingly also give to you what I gain from the outside and also contribute to our friendship. Instead of somebody proposing something like that, they come like, buddy, haha, you're my homie, ha ha ha. And then you find that the person who is near you like that has that agenda to just siphon out, suck, and bleed you and take and keep on taking and taking. But they've got the body, hey, friend thing going on. Then once they have what they've got, or you stop giving them, or they reach a certain level of utility, a satisfaction, where they feel like they know enough and they've seen enough, they're no longer ignorant. They now know you've given them awakening. Instead of, hey man, our business transaction has come to an end. We've had a fruitful relationship. I'm thankful. I see that our contract is coming to an end in a few months. I'd like to just give notice to you, man, that I'm going to be moving on. I have to give my attention for some time in a different direction. You and I, we're still friends, but given that I'll be taking this new direction, I'll be walking different circles just to refresh my mind. But yo, bro, I absolutely appreciate you. This is the end of our agreement. Instead of starting out an outright transactional, daily business kind of relationship that starts properly and ends properly, that body starts to now rot. It starts to now suck. It starts to now stink. The people who needed you and wanted your help, especially living in this world that we live in where there are quotes such as the student has become the master, right? You get people, instead of being appreciative at the end of this semi-friendly, semi-transactional relationship, instead of a proper mutual separating, people feel like, I actually am doing better than you, buddy. The student has now become the master.
Did you reach out to him for you guys to reconcile?
Man, we've been back and forth.
Yeah.
With Shimza.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time we had a meeting, it was at Oskido's house.
Yeah.
And I was there and he came and Oskido said, hey, Donna wants to talk to you. And I was like, cool. As long as you're in the room.
100%.
So we had a conversation. And worse at the time, I was going through a lot of stuff that...
What's really difficult about being men, and being real to each other. The same kind of anxiety that I get when I want to talk my mind freely in front of camera is a cousin or is a friend or is a close family member of the same anxiety that stops men from being authentic to one another. There's an anxiety of talking on a real note as dudes, and it's the same anxiety of talking in front of camera. Why are they similar? Well, if you have good friends around you who are supportive of what you're doing, you become a free, open person. So there's something about being tied up and living to your smallest possible self that is tied into the people that you have around you. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't know.
Going through a lot of stuff that, was helping me grow, and I said to him, I just think, and this applies to you.
Yeah.
And you. Not you. I don't like you. No, because every time I watch the show, I always hear her. I'm like, who's this girl? And now she's quiet. I'm like, hey, who is she?
Such good things to say.
Sometimes. Now I forgot what I was saying.
Shimmy, Mosquito House, yes.
No, I said
The meeting, bro.
What we need is we come
It
from.
applies to us as well, yes.
Yeah, we come from, like, most of us in the industry, from such like disadvantaged places, right? And we work, we start making a bit of money, and we get exposed to different things, and with that comes power, and power brings a lot of things.
Ego.
Yeah. Status, wanting to be the only one at the top. It's a greed that is impossible and unthinkable. It's a situation that doesn't make sense, but people become ambitious to just be the only ones in the room who are important. You want to be the only DJ going to Spain, kind of thing. It's unthinkable, but somewhere in your deep, dark, slimy personality, there's a desire for you to be the only one and no one else. Kaspedi ribicha romankanna. Yeah, that's what it's called. It means, let me be the last one to be served. After me, there should be no more. You remember Jay-Z, Encore? After me, there should be no more. So for one last time, I need you all to roar. With Linkin Park. Now what the hell are you waiting for? After me, there should be no more. Homangana. If something is, if a blessing, if a rain is coming, let it rain on me. Let all the raindrops come on me. And then let there be no drop for no one else. Unthinkable, right? But that's the human condition.
A lot, the most important thing, and I said this to him, is to seek therapy so that we can learn to deal with fame. Yeah, because fame is such a disease.
Oh, it's the biggest drug.
It's a drug.
Biggest.
Yeah, it's such a disease, and I struggle with fame so much still.
Join the club.
No, I struggle, man.
I'm worse than you, and I'm not even that famous.
Yeah, I struggle like a lot. Where to draw the line.
Yeah. Where do you be nutty? Where you coffee?
It's because it's being black.
Okay. I wonder what it's like to be famous, and I wonder what struggle this is, what real serious issue it is they are facing with being famous. Here, drawing the line between your personal self and the brand, I suppose. And I can see that there are people living like that. They've got like an alter ego. I think that's how all celebrities kind of end up dealing with life, by having the person in front of the people and then the different you. And you play these bipolar roles so much that there's literally another identity of you. And sometimes this identity is very, very different from what you're playing on stage. So I guess, yeah, man, it's a schizophrenia, maybe. Maybe that's the drug. Maybe it's a madness. Yeah.
Being black coffee works most of the time.
100%.
You know, there's a lot of perks, like when I eat in the most prestigious restaurant and I call as Nati. They're like, oh, sorry, Nati, we don't have tables. And then I call again I get someone to call as, hi, I'm Black Coffee assistant. He's looking for a table.
And it's not just restaurants, even women. If you want to eat, when you call us night, man, no.
I don't know how we got there, but
Yeah, I kind of... There's content that I'm becoming sensitive to as I get older, you know? I can't avoid it. This is circular content, you know, but I respect Black Coffee, and as a dude that I don't know, I just have regard for him as a person, and I'm sure he's a guy who has lived a life and has slept with a lot of women, as you probably do when you're at this level. And that's probably something that also drives the ego and the madness. The women. Women have a serious impact on a dude's mind, right? So talk about, you know, MacG mixing in the joke about when he calls and he wants to order women. I just felt like, man, I can skip that, man. I don't want to hear that.
abundance, you know, because all of a sudden you are a Grootman to your Grootmans at home. You know, you are a father to your mother all of a sudden. And that changes power so much that even when you're outside, you know, you're gonna behave a certain way.
100%.
You know, all of a sudden when you're not home,
all of a sudden,
your uncles can have a meeting without you.
Your uncles can have a meeting without you.
Before the uncles thing, bro, imagine that. Like, you really believe that you are who you say you are, you know? Like, when you're walking out, you're now permanently Black Coffee. The narcissism, the unavoidable narcissism, you know? I feel sorry for those who become narcissistic by mistake because they get carried away by pride. But for those who go into this wanting to be this brand, to be seen like that all the time, treated as such, well, may your madness follow you. That's your business, man. That's your business. That is your business.